Hello, this is Broyar, and welcome back to another episode of our Let's Play for Football Manager 2022 as we continue our Journeyman Glory Hunter run for now in Italy with ZEBRE. But this episode should mix that up a bit because all we have left is France. And we just finished arguably our best season of Football Manager ever. Was it our best team ever? I don't know. You guys be the judge of that. But let's get into the episode. All right, here we are. We have won 5 trophies this year. 5 pretty big trophies this year. In fact, I did not know this coming into this season. In fact, I didn't know this until just a few seconds ago before I started the video. But ZEBRE has not won the Champions League since 1996. We have gone 43 years since they last won the Champions League. They're not a bad team. Obviously, they've been dominant in Italy for a long time. But the fact that they haven't won since 1996 is insane. And we finally brought it home for them right before we leave here. So we got the Champions League. Or I guess the Champions League is this one? Which one is it? There we go. Champions Cup right there. Obviously, we got the League Cup again. We did that one. That's a repeat. And then, of course, we got the Italian Cup, which is the one we needed the most this season. And then just to throw in some extra icing on the cake, a pair of Super Cups, one in Italy and one in Europe. Excellent season this year. Really, really good. It's a good way to end our time in Italy. Overall, I'm going to see here. Anything here? Ralph, they didn't really like that much. C+. A+ for Amy, though. Kamaving, only a C. Bruder, a B+. Okay. They didn't really like the loans too much, to be honest. But honestly, both loanies, I mean, they played 14 appearances each. And 7+. I mean, I think they did well. I mean, the people that we loaned them from probably weren't super happy that we didn't play them more. But I thought they did well. Bruno, obviously, did really, really well. He was relatively cheap overall. I think the reason that Ralph didn't get a good score is because he was very expensive. But he was also our best average rating, right? I mean, I don't know. It's hard to say if that's a bad thing or not. Now, we did spend a lot of money on them, like I said, but we'll see. Any of these that they liked, I mean, not the Gasco one, but we don't really care about that one that much. None of these down here at the bottom were really worth that much money to me, so not too big of a deal. The loanies, nothing really crazy there. Again, none of these were really that exciting at the moment. Let's go to the season results, though. Obviously, in the Serie A here, we ended up 10 points clear, so not quite as dominant as last season. But, I mean, the goal differential was still insane. 111 points there. Or was it? I forget what the spread was last season. Was it? Maybe it was only 10 points as well. But I think we were over 100 points, weren't we? I suddenly forget. But, I mean, with a few more losses thrown in the mix, but it's fine. I didn't really care. At some point, I was just kind of playing whatever rotation I felt like, rotating guys to get ready for the cup games, which is what I felt was more important. And at the end of the day, we still took care of business. Holland picking up 30 goals. Board was pretty happy, B-. But yeah, not too bad. Champions Cup, of course, we dominated in this pretty well. And then we only lost the one game. And then dominated the Borussia Mönchengladbach after that. I love the fact that we played all 3 of our previous teams and beat them. Newcastle would beat them 4-0 on aggregate. Barcelona would beat them 6-0. I was like, this was looking a little weird at first, but I forgot it's flip-flopped. 6-0 on aggregate. And then Borussia would get beat 5-3. So this one was the closest one, but of course that was the semifinal, so expect that to be a pretty close one. 15 goals from Holland throughout that. Super Cup, we beat PSG, which could arguably be the team that we go to next, or could be a team that we're playing quite a bit in the team that we go to next, depending on how we go about it. Italian Cup, obviously we didn't lose that because we can't lose that one. I guess we could technically have lost one of the legs of SS Lazio, but we did not. So pretty good run there. The fact that we had to play Milan early was a little bit, nerve-wracking, but honestly playing Milan, Lazio, Inter Milan, and then AC Milan and Lazio in the middle, that's a pretty good run of teams that we had to get through. 6 goals from Holland in that one. And then, of course, we beat on penalties Inter Milan in the Italian Super Cup. Biggest win, Udinese, because the odds are starting early today. 8-0 dominant win in that one. We had 4 goals from Baldwin in that one. Match to remember was against Empoli here. We got a brace from Vaglini, and then a bunch of goals from others. And then, of course, the goal of the season came from Vaglini in, again, we get Spal here. It was the 63rd minute goal, so actually a pretty late goal. Let's go look at that goal. It'll be the first goal that we see here. Nianzou to Bruno. Bruno gets it up to Vaglini. And then Vaglini's just going to go, boom, done. I mean, I don't know if it was the best goal, but it was a clean goal. Credit where credit's due. That was a good goal. I like that one. And then here's Ralph. Gets it up to Vaglini. Going to get over to Stevens. Oh, I like that goal better, too. That was a really killer goal. And there's Vaglini. Over to Stevens on the left-hand side. Gets it back across. There's Ralph. Nice. Good stuff. Guys looked so good this year. Not bad. Not bad. All right. So that's the goals. The finances. Oh, we finally hit 5-star reputation. Going up a bit. Nice. No new sponsorship deals. No new other deals. We did go up on overall sponsorships, though. That's good. We did go up on broadcast revenue. That's really good. Corporate hospitality down a little bit, but pretty even. Competition prize money went up a lot, which is very helpful. And then match day commercial. Best shirt sales was Stevens. And then we've got Holland over here, of course, sure. Deers, Reina, and Ralph. So not bad. How we lined up, obviously, the 4-1-5 or 4-1-4-1 or whatever you want to call it. Van de Voort, Gibbons, Amy, Negrini, Nianzou, Camavinga. That's very normal. Baldwin, Stevens, with Deers and Ralph. Yep, 100%. And then, yeah, this is our A team right here. This is the team that we played by far the most. Holland, almost an 8.0. As old as he is, still getting almost an 8.0 on 36 appearances, 10 assists, 53 goals. The guy's insanely good. Fans player of the season was Holland. Young player of the season was Ralph. Ralph hopefully has a good future with this team, with ZEBRE. Signing of the season, of course, Ralph. Goal of the season was Vaglini. We saw that. Top goal scorer, 53 goals from Holland. Most assists, 27. That's a lot of assists, too, from Stevens. And then most player of the match awards from Holland was 13. Highest average rating, 7.9 from Holland. Most passes was Camavinga with 88. Holland got the most overall goals by a player in a season. Most assists by a player in a season was Stevens. Most clean sheets. That's actually surprising. I actually didn't realize we had the most clean sheets. And then oldest goal scorer, almost 39 years old. Crazy. And the competition awards, Vaglini won the goal 50. Van de Voort won the World Golden Glove. Van de Voort also won the World Goalkeeper of the Year. Italian Serie A Goalkeeper of the Year was Van de Voort. Goalkeeper of the Year, a Port? What does that mean? I might have to look that up sometime. But it was also Van de Voort. World Golden Ball was Holland. World Player of the Year was Holland. Italian Player of the Year was Holland. Italian Goal Scorer was Holland. And European Champions Cup Defender of the Season was Amy. And then I got the Manager of the Year. Cool. From the manager's point of view. The one the managers voted on, I guess. History in the making. Not all the trophies can even fit on the window. We got so many trophies. It was a superb season for ZEBRE as they claimed their second successive title to back up their preseason credentials. Your hard work and effort paid off on the pitch, and such a feat didn't go unrewarded at our end-of-season awards ceremony. Really, really, really good season overall. General performance, again, tackles and passing is our weakness. It's just what it is. Attacking efficiency, though, I mean, we were literally in a league of our own. Like, we almost had this square all to ourselves. We're so far up there. It's just absolutely dominant. Team attacking, again, kind of pass completion makes sense. Shots on target ratio is a little bit surprising, but, you know, it is what it is. Goalkeeping, not the best team on goalkeeping. Fair enough. Still one of the best, though. Defensive, same thing. I mean, Inter, FC, you know what? It doesn't surprise me. Inter Milan, they're five, what is it? They have like 5 at the back and then like 2 or 3. Like, their formation was very heavy defensive. And it took us a little bit to break it down initially. We did finally get it through it, obviously. But they definitely stumped us last season. So it doesn't surprise me that they've played a good defensive season this year. We'll just accept the current. We're not going to stick around. We're not going to be here. We will be done here after I don't know exactly when I'll leave, but here in a few days, probably. Yeah, definitely retain it. I think that's 100% accurate. They might not expect us to win it, though. Yeah, they're happy with trying to win it. We'll discuss promises next year, because I won't be here. Somebody else could take that problem. And then team report. Injuries, squad end of season break. I don't know. Why don't you guys just go to somewhere? Doesn't matter. Stay local. Let's see here. Nothing here. European Champions Cup Golden Boot was not Holland. He was second, though. European Champions Cup Dream Team was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 of us. So not bad. Not bad. Award winners. So Vandervoort was second. Gibbons. Oh, Gibbons actually was second. Actually, we had top 3 defender of the seasons for the Champions Cup. Amy winning that one. Awesome. Midfielder of the season. Ralph was third. And then Holland was second. So we were up there, to be fair. And it makes sense. We were the lead. We won the whole thing. All right. Well, like I said, we are going to be leaving here very soon. I'm trying to decide if now's the time to leave or we leave later. Anything up already? Just Amiens and League 2. But here's the thing. If we leave, the sooner we leave, the sooner some other pieces move around and there's a chance that a spot will open up for us. One thing I do want to check out, though, is if we look at Ligue 1 here, we go look at team detailed. And then we go look at salary. So PSG, obviously, the best team to be here, right? I mean, they're their best. How far down would I be willing to go? I mean, do I dare go as far as 7th? That's like a quarter of the salary. I don't know. That might be too far, right? It might be too far. I've played as Marseille before, and so I kind of want to avoid doing that again. I mean, we could do Monaco, we could do Lyon, however you say that, Bordeaux. But actually, are those going to be too easy? I want a project. We've got 7 years left. Well, do we have 7 years? What do you think? Yeah, 7 years. No, 8 years. 8 years. I was like, 7 years didn't sound right. We have 8 years left. I think. My math is suddenly just... I'm second guessing my math. Because we're in 2039 right now, which means we started 2038. So this is our 18th season. So yeah, we have 7. I have to do my... I have to count by hand to make sure that my math that I know is correct is correct. We have 7 seasons left. Which is a long time to get potentially one of these other guys built up enough to get there. Part of me just says take whichever team comes up first. But I have to draw a line somewhere. And it may mean that we miss it, right? It may mean we lose the whole thing by doing this way. I would say go no further than... I would say no further than Marseille, which I'm not want to go for Marseille, other than I might consider one of these 3 secure teams as well. Because if they're secure on finances, there's a chance that as we continue to build up and grow, that they'll be able to add more finances to it as we get better and better, which means that we'll be more likely to build up a better team in those than with one of these okay financial teams. That's my thinking, something like that. But we'll play it. We'll see. We'll play by ear. We'll see what teams come up. But then it comes back to, when do I want to leave? Is there a reason to stay any further than now? Let's stay to the end of the month. And I'll bring you guys along for that ride, because why not? Because I'm still talking through kind of the plan. But we still got to get back into the European play. Right? I'm not going to do any vice captain stuff right now. Okay, fine. We'll offer him a contract. That's fine. It's fine. If we can get him moved on, that's okay as well. We need to get a little bit of money. This team is in, I don't want to say trouble. They have to be very careful this next year. Because they are, I did go pretty heavy on the finances. If we had stuck around a little bit longer, I think we could have fixed the financial situation. Because I don't think it's unfixable by any stretch of the imagination. But, that's fine, whatever. It's low enough I don't care about the details. But we're definitely in the hole. I mean, this team is definitely in the hole. But again, we've got a lot of players that we spent a lot of money on that we could sell on to get this money back. The only reason I did is because I had things that I needed to accomplish. And a lot of this money that we're in the hole for is a bunch of the extra bonuses that we had to pay out for people hitting 50 games, people for us winning championships, people hitting some international play, bonuses for certain goal scoring, things like that. And all of those are done. Like, we've paid on pretty much all of those. So we're not going to have to pay a lot more going forward. We're basically almost paid for those guys that we brought along. And so then if we continue to kind of be pretty, fairly good on the winning side of things, then this should start climbing back up again. So I don't think, I mean, the financial status still says okay, because I think that's exactly that. We've paid a lot of the stuff out. I think we're going to be fine going forward. We're at least qualifying for Champions Cup next year. And if we do qualify for the Champions Cup next year and make a little bit of a run for it, then I think this team can definitely bounce back pretty easily. With still a very good team, honestly. So I'm not too worried about the financial situation. It dipped down pretty hard early. But part of it, again, was we weren't in the Champions League when I showed up. So we just didn't make a lot of money that first season. If we'd made Championship League money that first season, then we would be, we'd be barely in the hole, I think, right now. So maybe 100 million in the hole or something like that. So yeah, it's not great, but I think they can bounce back pretty easily. And they've got a lot of good players they could sell on for a really good chunk of money very quickly without even hurting their chances of repeating in some of these areas. In fact, let's go look at the squad for a second, actually. If we go look at, what am I looking for? I guess contract's fine. I mean, Ralph we would want to keep, right? Negrini we want to keep because he's a youngster that's going to last us many years over. Stevens, 29 years old. Yeah, we would love to keep him, right? But arguably, I could see him moving on. Honestly, though, Ralph, Negrini, Stevens, Deers, if you can keep those four. What about Logan? I forget how old Logan is. Logan's 28. I mean, if we could keep him too. Amy could be worth shooing on, right? He's getting old. He's not getting younger. He's not going to be like around forever. If you could sell him on, bring a good youngster into that spot. There's another one that shows the age as well. Is it just general info? There we go. That's what I'm looking for. So I would say Amy, sell him on. Baldwin, I mean, we want to keep Baldwin, right? But could we sell him on for 60 mil and then bring a youngster up that can kind of start developing into that spot? Maybe. Gibbons isn't worth a lot of money, but 32 mil, that bounces us back as well. Like, we could sell a bunch of these players, plus not to mention their salaries. These guys were making quite a bit of money on that side of things as well. So if we could sell on a few of these guys, maybe we can make some money back, and I think this team would be in a pretty good spot without losing too much of their skill. Now, obviously, we did just lose Holland. That's a big deal. But Stevens is an extremely good striker as well. We just didn't play him as striker, but he can play striker really, really well as well if we need to. Of course, we've still got Vaglini if we want to hold on to him for a couple more years. So I think this team can be fine. I think they can make it. We'll check in on them. We'll definitely check back in on them. Wait a minute. Why does it say now? No. It just said that we were fine. I literally just checked that. Well, now I'm confused. Something keeps flip-flopping. Because I checked it the other day and it said no. And then I checked it a couple days before that and it said yes. Something's flip-flopping funny, and I'm not sure exactly what it is that's making that kind of not stable. So I actually don't know if we're going to be okay next year or not. Now, if we don't make the Champions League because of that, then yeah, then I messed up. I definitely put the team in a very, very bad spot. Kamas is a guy that definitely could develop into something worth a lot of money for us. Trying to negotiate a little bit here. Come on, buddy. Work with me. All right, we'll give you 5%. I don't like giving them pay raises, but we'll give you something. I'm sure that'll make you say yes pretty quickly, actually. I don't really want to look at the recruitment meeting. I don't care. Holland got second as best player in Europe. Okay. I mean, I kind of disagree, to be honest. And I'm not trying to just be biased. I do genuinely think Holland on 53 goals probably played better, but whatever. Maglini wins Italian Player of the Month. Good job. Congratulations, Ralph. Best Player of the Season award. Negrini. I mean, we're getting so many awards. Good stuff. Goalkeeper of the Season. Yes. Gibbons. Congratulations. Holland. Congratulations. So best striker, best midfielder, and best defender. I don't want to attend this meeting. I don't really care. All right, fine. We'll see what they've got. I don't think they're going to have anything that... Like, why are you showing me this guy? Not interested. Don't show this again. I'm not really interested in you, but I'll say at least a C. I'll at least acknowledge. But like the D's, why would you even show me that? I don't tend to waste time scouting C's, to be honest. It's B's or higher is all I actually scout, which I know is very, very, not selfish, but like, you know, I'm very picky, I guess. Not that I will never recruit a C. Don't get me wrong. I will, at least I know about them. I know enough about them. For example, Costas here. He'd be a fine player to recruit. He's actually be a really good player to recruit, but not for this price. And maybe that's why he's at a C+. Because of the prices thrown in there. I don't know if that counts in there. I'm assuming it does because there's some really good players that show up as C's. Whereas this guy who's got a lot of potential, but he's an A+, you know, he would be a good guy to come along, to be honest. Good youngster to bring in to replace one of those more expensive guys who could develop into something really, really good for us in the long term. If I was sticking around, I would definitely be looking at some of those guys. All right, it is June 1st. Anything else we need to see? Think so. I think we leave. Just out of curiosity, how is Amiens' finances? What am I looking for? I guess I go here. Just okay. And obviously they're not making much money at all. There's FC Lorient. Obviously we've been there. we know them. We were there earlier. They're dropped down. Honestly, they probably deserve to be down here. They just don't make that much money. It's really hard to make them any better than they are. Already 24 minutes into this playthrough. I've been having too much fun talking through stuff. All right, I guess we're gonna go ahead and leave the team here and open the door for somebody to take my current job so that maybe I could take a job in France. And honestly, at this point, maybe the first team that shows up in France, we go for, right? In fact, I think that's exactly what will happen. Unless it's one of those really, really low teams that's only okay on finances. But first team that qualifies within like either secure or kind of that top-ish level, I think we go for. So, home. Just resign. Not retire, resign. I was like, don't hit retire. That's a different button. Resign from my contract. Bye, guys. In a move that's sure to raise eyebrows. Jurgen, are you just following me everywhere? I go, I make a team great, and then Jurgen's like, you know what? I can manage that team. It's just Jurgen in this game, obviously. But the fact that he's coming to the teams that I've made great is a little funny. All right, Jurgen, by all means, take that job. You keep taking every other job I've decided to leave, or we're chasing each other around to different jobs. Anytime I go to a new country, he's sure to follow. It's just funny. All right, we'll be back when there is news on the job front. Well, we got a job. It's a little bit higher up the list than I might have thought that we would try and go for. Although, I mean, honestly, It's still not necessarily like the best team in France or anything like that. I can go with PSG, and it's still going to be, you know, something we have to build up to, because obviously PSG is extremely good. And of course, there's always Monaco. There's OL, OM. I mean, Bordeaux's up there with them at the moment. But I would say it's still project team to some degree. Maybe a little bit of an easier project team than I could have if I'd waited a little bit longer. But we'd already waited quite a while. Does it say the date, today's date on here? I don't. Oh yeah, it does right there. So the next game we have will be on January 8th. If that tells you anything about what today's date is. I don't see today's date right now, but it's been half the season already. It's already gone. So we had to wait for a bunch of teams to like start firing people, and people start taking other jobs and things like that. And so that's where we're at. I don't remember if Bordeaux fired their previous manager, or if their previous manager just took off to another team. I did have an offer from AS Etienne, which would have been a little bit further down the list. I think they're like 7th or 8th, or maybe further down than that. But I don't know. I just felt like Bordeaux seemed like a good move. Again, it's still a little bit of a project team if we're going to accomplish the things that we want to accomplish, because PSG is just so incredibly dominant in this league. Anybody south of Monaco is it's going to be a challenge. It's going to take us a couple years, I think, to build up enough team to take them on. So I think I'm pretty happy with the Bordeaux pick. Plus blue and white. Can't go wrong with those colors, right? I like blue. So they've won the league 2009, so about 30 years ago. That's a long time. They've won the French Cup. Actually, they just won the French Cup. Impressive. Well, obviously, we would love to do that again, because they've won back-to-back. That's impressive. So we'd love to do that again, of course. So again, they're not a bad team by any stretch, but definitely still a little bit of work ahead of us in order to be good enough to win the league, because that's a lot of games to win the league. Media prediction is actually third. They're a 4.5-star team. And the other way to look at this is this. I thought about taking a project team, right? And I think that would have been a lot of fun to spend the next few years doing a project team. And it's a little bit of a project team, but it's going to be a little bit quicker than maybe one of the teams further down. But if we end this challenge sooner, well, then maybe I can pick up another save, and I can have some fun with a different save before 2023 comes out. So that's another way to look at it, of if we finish this challenge sooner than expected. They want us to sign players under the age of 23. I can understand that. Apparently, we have the best youth system in the country, as well as the best youth system in the world. That is surprising. They want us to reach the first knockout round of the Champions Cup. They want us to qualify for the Champions Cup. And then some of these other things are not super important. They want us to reach the semifinal of the French Cup, and then to reach the quarterfinal of the Euro Cup. They want us to be recognized as the best of the rest, which outside the League One Uber Eats top team within the stated frame. So they just want us to be the best of anybody that's not PSG, which makes sense. Yeah, I don't know. I think it's still gonna be a good team. And like I said, a little bit of a project team still. Maybe not as much of a project as I originally thought we might be able to do. But the S19E1 one, just I could have gone with that one. Maybe I should have, but I think I'm pretty happy. All right. I mean, sure, we'll go ahead and offer some contracts to some people that they suggest, because why not? They seem like good enough to go after. If nothing else, if we decide to get rid of them after a little bit, then we can, let's have them on here that we can sell them on at later. But, solid 3-star player. Can't go wrong with that. 3.5-star player. Sure. That sounds good. Sure. That's part of my goals anyway, so I'll leave that on there. Sometimes I take those off, but honestly, I'm okay with that. Okay, whatever. That's fine. Playing time, that's fine. We'll just confirm all that. That's okay. Youth intake. Looks like we might have a couple wingers coming in, which would be pretty cool. I would love the bump. We don't have a lot of money. That is one thing. Huge difference in money from the team that we had last season, right? But we've only got to win stuff in France. We don't have to go out and win Champions League or anything like that, which is going to be really hard for us to compete on that level. Honestly, I don't think I want to adjust any of these right this second. I'm just gonna go. I mean, this is not enough of a difference for it to make enough of a difference. You know what I mean? So it's just not. Tactic wise, okay, we got to look at the squad before we figure out tactics. And before we look at squad, let's go figure out who on our staff is even worth talking to me about our overall potential. Mental, judge, player, ability, goalkeeping coach, Javi Garcia. Didn't set nickname. Let's give you some stars so I know who you are and don't forget. All right, so now we can go to the squad depth. Pull in Javi. Where is he? There he is. Oh, wrong button. There we go. And then we go look at all positions. Okay, so here we go. We have a couple good strikers. One of those good strikers is actually a pretty good attacking midfielder. So maybe we play him there and play Avetisian up here. Man, I can't say half these names. 32 years old. Okay, how old are you? You are 31 years old. So you're Armenian. Where are you from? You've got a pair of Armenians here playing for France. Interesting. We got good left winger Moreno here, who is 26 years old, a little bit younger. That's good. Spanish. Okay. This guy can also play midfield. We got Mafon here, who is French, 20 years old, youngster. I like that. I like that a lot. Who can play defensive midfielder. Puda, also 22 years old, French, can play defensive midfield. That is good. Puda can also play center back. Mafon can also play on the left. Groot fam can play on the right over here. 33 years old, so a little bit older. Definitely can't. He's not gonna be sticking around forever. Decent goalkeeper. Please be young. Please be young. Nope, 32. Well, I mean, 32 can still last quite a while as a goalkeeper, to be fair. Is Saib at least a youngster? Oh, he's very young, and he's got a lot of good potential ahead of him as well. I mean, we got a decent team here. Where do we sit in relation to, like, overall, like, salary-wise compared to PSG? So we're at 84 million. We're a little bit less than half. Definitely doable, right? Definitely doable with an 84 million euro salary. I mean, where's that compared to Siri, right? Like ZEBRE, where were they at? Just by comparison, they dropped down to 183, but so 84 would be as good as Lazio and Atalanta. So something to think about there. What about compared to some of the guys in Germany? Bundesliga. I think it's actually more comparable to some of these guys. Maybe not so much. A little bit about Borussia Dortmund, though. You know, so Borussia Dortmund's not a bad team by any stretch of the imagination. What about Spain, which would be just first division, right? Just because I'm trying to compare where these guys are in relation to some of these other teams. I mean, almost as much as Valencia, Atletico Bilbao, a little bit ahead of Granada. So again, not especially amazing. And then if we compare against Premier League, there's nowhere near. They're not going to be anywhere near any of the top probably 10 in the Premier League. Did I spell it wrong? I did spell it wrong, I think. English Premier League. Yeah, you have to drop down to not even the top 15. Yeah, England plays a lot of money. Whoa, so we're not even conversation here. So that's fine. That's fine. And then where are we at on the season preview? They expected us to be wrong team. Let's go back to my area of the woods. So third, but honestly, it not a far stretch from second. Do we have any of the? We have Mafon and we have Puda as two of the best players in the Dream 11. So that's pretty good. So we've got a good team here. But again, our work cut out for us to take on PSG. Didn't PSG pick up Holland? I don't see him in the list. Where did Holland go? Maybe I misremember where he went. Holland. He is at PSG. I'm surprised he's not on this list. How is he not better? He's not one of like the key players for anybody. That is... Wow. All right. More power to him, I guess. All right. Well, I'm going to go away and see what I can do here. Are we even in... Okay, so we're actually in December. So we just hit the winter break. The transfer window opens up here in a couple weeks, about almost 2 weeks. So we're going to have some time to do some stuff. Is it really just 3 days? Oh, no, there it is. Transfer window closes. Okay. There's the restricted, then there's just the regular. Okay. So we do have... We're going to get to do some stuff. We're going to get to bring somebody in, maybe. Maybe. Finances are secure. We're still, you know, a little bit of a balance. I mean, this is not a wealthy team by any stretch. They've capped out at, what, 71 million, it looks like. Looks like this might be their highest, 89 mil. They're not a extremely wealthy team, but hopefully wealthy enough that we can do something. And really the big thing about a team like this is that you just need to bring in like 1 or 2 star players. And those 1 or 2 star players start getting you the momentum to get more players. But we really going to have to do this with potentially youngsters that come in at a cheap wage that we develop into being $100 million euro players. But that's not what we got them for. We got them for 10 million, 15 million, 20 million at the most. And then become 100 million based on their development. So, all right, I'll go away. I'm going to play around with this for a little bit. I will bring you guys back. I mean, we're actually in the French Cup still. January 1st. But that's before... I mean, we should be able to get past the 10th round of the French Cup without too much effort. I'll bring you back. Whatever comes after the 31st. Assuming we get past this, I'll bring you back for that. Maybe for PSG. We'll see. We'll play it by ear, but we'll come back here in a few weeks after I've done a little bit of transfers, and we'll see what it looks like and come up with a tactic. So, we'll be back. All right, we are back. This episode's getting kind of long, so I'm going to try and breeze through this pretty quickly here, though. Not a lot coming in so far. In fact, only 2 players have come in under me. We'll get into those in just a moment. Quite a few going out, however. So let's start with those. Let me hide the camera because those are going to go down below the line over here. We started here on January 2nd, and just about every single one of the players that we are sending out are players that are 30 years of age or older. I'm just getting rid of them all. I don't care how good they were. I really don't care how good they were. We're just getting rid of them to try and sell them for as much money as we can now, because they're not going to get any more expensive. We're not going to get any more money for them a year or 2 down the road. This is the most money we're probably going to get for each and every one of these guys. So we just literally do not care their skill, do not care if they were the best player we had on the team. I just dropped them all. And the reason I dropped them all is because I'm going to develop my younger players. I'm going to bring in younger players that can become as good as these guys. In fact, we have several players. Our youngsters are really, really good, and we've brought in a couple others to try and fill in some spots. I had several others in the list that just fell through and didn't work out. But, so yeah, a lot of these players you're going to see are older players. So Matt Williams here was 33 years old. We got 2.8 mil for him. He wasn't that great, but that's okay. Campabadel, sure. 33 years old, 3-star player. We got 7.5 mil for him. Mills here, we got 7 mil for. 2.5-star player. Again, not super great, but still got something for him. Mapasi here, 5 mil for a 2.5-star player. Dittman here, we got 35 mil for him. He was a 3-star player, but we were able to get 35 mil for him. That was really, really big deal, and that was really helpful for sure. Defensive midfielder. But again, I think the players we brought in, they may not be as good as these guys right this second, but over the next year or 2, I think they'll be better than these players. So just bear with me. I know the fans are like, what are you doing? What are you doing? I'm like, trust me, trust me, trust me. So I'm kind of saying the same thing to you guys. Trust me. I think this will work out. Groot Fam goes out. He was actually one of our best players we did send out. I wish I could have gotten more money from him. I tried all over the place to get more money for him. But at least we got something for him. He's 33 years old. He's actually one of the older players that we got rid of. So 10.75 mil. I mean, it's something. Harazzo, he was one of the youngest players we got rid of. I didn't really want him to leave because I thought he could turn into something better. But he wanted to leave, and I didn't want to keep people that were grumpy. So we got something for him, whatever. We could definitely get a player in his spot. He was not our best player in that spot. He was like 3rd string or something like that. So not too big a deal to get rid of him. Rag Ragui went to Lazio for 12.5, 3-star player, 32 years old. Then we got a guy who went up for 80K. That was just a guy that was selling at the end of contract, and we just sold him early. So it was just a youngster. Who cares? And then the 2 big ones. And I have no idea. Benfica. How does Benfica have 90 million plus dollars, 90 million plus euros, I should say, at the January transfer window, right? Isn't this a Portuguese team? Honestly, don't know Benfica. Yeah, Portuguese. Okay, I'm like, I'm not crazy, right? Benfica. Again, I don't know much about football stuff, so I know the teams that we've been playing with. You know, in the 5 leagues that we played with, I haven't played in Portugal, so I wasn't 100% sure. But I'm pretty sure I'm not crazy. But it wouldn't have put it past me to be wrong. So let's put it that way. So over 90 mil for our two players here, and these are two. This is basically our star midfielder and our star attacking midfielder. I say star. These guys wore 3 stars and 3 stars respectively. They weren't really going to get any better. Mora was, how was he? 30 years old, and Arshakian was 31. So honestly, these two players I probably could have kept, but they weren't going to get any cheaper. Like I said, they were not going to get any. Or sorry, they weren't going to get any more expensive. Their price was only going to go down year over year. So by selling these two guys for 46, mil a plus a piece, that gives us a lot of money, even if we don't spend all the money. Let me go check over here at our finances, and I'll turn my camera back on because we're done looking at that side. Even if I don't spend all this transfer budget, we have 160 million euros of transfer budget. I don't actually want to spend all of this. I'm being very specific and targeted with my stuff because what I want is to stick some money into the bank account so that we just have more money going year over year and we're in a good, comfortable position. This is a long-term plan. This is not a short-term, let's win this next year. This is a long-term, let's see what we can develop and build up and see if we can build up a really, really strong team here. And so we've gotten a lot of money for the team. I still have one more transfer I'm trying to get out that I'm hoping for. And I've had, like I said, several others that just fell through. But let's go look at the transfers that we did bring in. We brought in 2 of them. We brought in Custodia here for 20 mil up front, going up to 24 mil. He comes in here as a central defender that could also play defensive midfielder. He can play technically midfielder if you wanted to. He could technically be trained as an attacking midfielder or a attacking midfielder on the right, but we're not planning on playing him there. Most likely defensive midfielder, most likely defensive center back. Could play defensive midfielder if we need to, or right back. Those are the 3 spots that we most likely will play this guy in, with central defender being the primary. 3-star player, 21 years old, could get as good as 4-star, could even get higher than that potentially. But even if he just got as good as a 4-star player, for $20 million or 20 million euros, if he develops as we want him to, he's going to be an outstanding player for us for a very good bargain, in my opinion. So that's one player we got, and then we got him from PSG. So that's one less player that PSG is going to have that develop over the time. And this is the big one. This is the expensive one. I went a little bit out for this guy just because we had already made the 2. These are the 2 guys on the right, and I was like, you know what? I mean, it's okay to get really good players. And this guy is still young, 23 years old, so he could still develop. He could develop into like one of the best goalkeepers in the world, in theory. He could. Will he? I don't know. We'll have to play it out. But he's already 3.5-star player. He's already significantly better than any of our current players, and his potential is higher than our current players. Honestly, if his potential was not higher than Atari's, I would have just kept Atari, and he would have been our starting goalkeeper, and I would have just tried to develop him. But since this guy's not only current ability is better, but his potential ability is also better, then I wanted to bring him in and see what he can do. So Peterson comes in here as our best goalkeeper, and obviously most expensive player. But I mean, you establish a strong goalkeeper, you can really build a team around a good goalkeeper, in my opinion. So we'll see what happens with that. I'm still trying to get a couple other players kind of in and out. I got one guy coming in I'm hoping for, Ferreira here, 23 years old, coming in from Inter. We want to get, pay a little bit, quite a bit of money up front, 6.25, going up to 37.5. That's kind of high, kind of expensive, but we come in here as a 3.5-star striker. Could get developed into a 4-star, and I'm hoping that he develops into that. Because if he does, I think he'll be worth the money for us. And then Avitesian, a 33-year-old striker that we currently have. Again, 33 years old. We were not able to sell him. I tried, and then he just on his own agreed to in a contract with Tottenham. So not really much I could do about it. He's leaving us at the end of the year, so whatever. I guess we don't have to worry about his salary next year at the very least, which isn't super high, but probably one of the highest ones we have, to be fair. And then I guess that's it. I thought we had one more player that was potentially leaving, but I guess that's it. So there we go. I tried a little bit more. In fact, if we go look at the scouting for a second, I literally, all I did was I came in here. I didn't put any filters on other than, well, at one point I had that on here. I don't know why it went away. We'll just say 29. I just went through and I first off, I tried to get the A+ players here because I knew that they had a lot of potential. Miss Da here is not even interested. I had an offer out for Luis. I thought it was going good. He agreed to the contract. And then RB Leipzig came in here and swooped in and took him away from us. He would have been a great player to bring in. Ubis was not interested. Ferreira, obviously we've got a contract out. Tadoldi's not interested. Merlot, we had an offer out for him. And then ultimately he went to Hertha Berlin. And then I haven't gone anything below that. I've thought about going with some of these guys down here. We've already got a good goalkeeper, so I don't need Ferraz. And then as far as Aaron here, his potential is only 3.5 that we know about. It could be as high as 4, not guaranteed. And he's 29 years old. So I was like, you know what? He's a little bit high, on the high side. If we see any more A+ players, I'm going to go after those guys, right? Not to say that these B players are bad. These B players are great. B+ and below are great players. And if any of these had really high potential, I might still bring them in. Really high, I don't want to say guaranteed, but like known potential. Because obviously the white stars, we just don't know. But if it had really high yellow star potential, I might bring them in, even at B players, if I could get a good price for them. But right now I'm focusing on A's and A+, because again, we're playing the long game. We don't have to be picky. We can be picky. We don't have to go out for whatever we can see like we've done in the past. For this year and this year alone, this first time we've done this, or these next couple of years, we're going to be very, very targeted on specific players that fit our needs, and see what we can do with that. So if we come over here and look at the squad and squad depth, we pull in our best goalkeeping coach here who can do the best overall. Here's our current ability. Kind of looks, I've kind of dropped a few players off. There's a few more players I probably need to drop off, but more or less, let's just put it this way. We've got at least a 3-star or better player in every spot with a backup that's at least 2.5 stars or better, right? So we're fine. We've got a decent team, right? We've got a decent team. And that's including that Peterson comes in here as basically our best player now. I guess Puto's our best player, right? But Peterson comes in here really strong. Maffin's a good player. So we got some good, 3.5 and 4-star players still. And most of the rest of these guys are youngsters that still have a chance to develop. Now Vern doesn't look like he'll develop, but Palmer over here, he's current 3-star. He could develop to 4, maybe even higher. So we have several guys that can develop. In fact, if we go look at their potential ability, I mean, we've got some good potential here with a lot of these players. Will they develop into this? We just don't know, right? Until we can continue to play them out. But there's some potential here for sure. And that's the goal. Can we develop these guys to be a budget PSG, a team that's as good as PSG, but that we got on a budget. Oh, and if you can't tell, I don't remember if I went over it. I've decided to go ahead and go with this formation again. It's worked for us in the past. I think it's going to work for us again. And so we're going to stick with this 4-1-4-1 goal machine that I've been playing with for a while. I like it, and I think it's very exciting, a lot of fun, gets us a lot of goals, and we'll see what happens. Interestingly enough, we play both ZEBRE and Borussia Mönchengladbach in the European Champions Cup. I mean, we're not going to get out of our cup group because they're already, ahead of us, and I don't think there's any way we can catch up. But it's just funny that those are two of the teams that we had to play. What are the odds? All right, well, there you go. There's a long episode. As far as the schedule, I took over before the Troy game here, and we won that game, and then we lost to PSG. No big surprise there. Losing to PSG, I'm not even remotely worried about whatsoever. The fact that we scored a couple goals actually makes me feel really good. And those goals came from Palmer, a guy who we want to keep around and see develop. We then beat Paris FC 4-1 with a goal from Puda, a goal from Moreno, a goal from Chelban, and a goal from Jensen. I'm very happy to see that kind of performance there. This RC Lens one, a little bit concerning because we lost by a goal to a team that was at the time one slot below us. And I think they still actually are currently 7th place because we're in 6th. I'm not super happy with that result, like at all. We actually beat them 2-0 earlier in the season. So I actually played worse than the previous manager. But again, I had got let go of a bunch of my top players, and we're kind of developing some players. So we're going to take some losses that we probably wish we hadn't. And the biggest thing probably is going to be, will the board trust me enough to see this through? If they give me a couple years, then I think we'll be fine. But if they fire me at the end of the season because I didn't meet whatever expectations they want me to meet, even though I only came in halfway through the season, then we're in trouble. I would play Anger's SCO in the next matchup. It's going to be a tough matchup for us as well. The last time we played them, I thought they were a League One team. Yeah, right there, 2-0. Not that long ago, actually. So can we beat them? I don't know. They're currently ranked 15th, so we should beat them. But with the changes that I've made, I don't know. And the team that we're bringing against them is this team right here, which is not the best team, again, to be fair, but not bad. I mean, we've got 3 stars. We got 3.5 stars. We do have a 2-star, but honestly, 2-star inverted wingback is pretty normal for me because this guy's probably better. He's a 3.5-star player. He's just not used to playing as an inverted wingback. So I'm kind of ignoring the stars in that regard because I think if he's a good player, he'll be able to figure it out. But yeah, I mean, it's not the greatest team in the world. But again, these guys are all young, and we're looking for them to develop. I'm really looking for our striker to develop really well. He's got a potential to be really good as well. So we shall see. But something like this is probably the team we're going to be playing. We'll show that game next match because this episode is significantly far too long. But I just wanted to kind of show off a little bit of what we had. So let me know what you think in the comments below. Let me know what you think about the plan of developing youngsters and see if we can get like I said, a budget PSG, a team that's as good as PSG on a budget that we can handle. We're not going to have that many more players that we could sell for big money. So this is our pool of money to work with over the next few years. And we'll see what we can do. But anyway, I do appreciate you guys watching. May God bless you, and I hope you join me again next time. Thank you, and goodbye. I wanted to give a special shout out to the following channel members. Thank you so much for supporting the channel.